in Ilaje Indigenes, the Ilaje Indigenes in the oil-producing area of Ondo State are not satisfied with the NDDC board composition. They insist that Ondo State, being the 5th oil-producing state in Nigeria by virtue of the oil production from Ilaje oil-bearing communities, should have a better representation in the just constituted NDDC board. Joining us now on the morning show to discuss the plight of Ilaje people of Ondo State as regards the NDDC board is Akinola Gbonegun, Coordinator, Concerned Ilaje Stakeholders Committee. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you.
Mr. Gbonegun, what is the problem this time around? The other time it was Ilaje Ondo Development Union protesting that was it Honorable Charles Ogunmola, was not could not represent Ondo State because oil was not flowing through his backyard. This time around, it is another person. And the complaint is that, the new Honorable, Akinjo, is that his name? Yes, that is a PDP member, but it's not from APC, because it must be an APC member from Ilaje Ondo. At the time, President Tinubu says he's trying to run an inclusive government, and Nigerians are saying, look, he should cast his net wider than fish. So this time around again, it's this same Ilaje Ondo people saying that, please just take us through, because I don't understand this perpetual agitation.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Abati. Like you know, the NDDC was set up by an NDDC Act year 2000. And that had specified that there shall be for the board of NDDC a managing director and 2 executive directors. Ever since 2001, if it had been rotated the way it was mentioned in that act, it would have been the turn of Ondo State. It never was. I mean, if you have 3 slots to rotate with 9 states based on oil production quantum, yes, you will have had an Ilaje man becoming MD from 2001. But up to today, no Ilaje man had become MD. Rather than rotation, they are doing repetition. Someone from Delta State was MD managing director at the first time. Then he was replaced with another Delta man. After that, someone from Bayelsa became MD. After Bayelsa, Rivers took their slot. After Rivers, Akwa Ibom took their slot. Naturally, Ondo State being the 5th largest in oil production quantum should have taken its own slot. Rather than giving it to Ondo State, they are repeating another Bayelsa man as MD. Is that fair? It can't be fair. There's no how you can talk about it. It's not fair. About the issue of Akinjo being a PDP man or whoever, I'm not interested in that, because essentially it is the right of Ilaje Ondo to produce the state rep and to produce the executive slot given to Ilaje. They never did. There were 4 bots. No Ilaje man was MD, no Ilaje man was executive director. Last year, they said they were taking it to Ondo State. They gave it to one Mr. Charles Ogunmola. Ogunmola is from Owo. He's not, with due respect, a qualified professional, but not someone from, not an indigene of the oil-producing area. This was attested to by a letter sent to the Senate President by the 3 senators, representing Ondo State. Normally, it takes 2 senators to refuse nomination. But look at the level of impunity. They still went ahead with the nomination, approving it. 3 senators, they signed a letter, I gave you. They signed a letter saying that this man is not from oil-producing area. Change him. Refuse his nomination. Advise Mr. President then, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, to change. And it was done on purpose, just to punish Ilaje. Because Charles Ogunmola had no business being in NDDC as a top executive. The law specified it. You can show the letter of the senator, the 3 senators, distinguished senators.
Okay. Let me bring you back to a statement you just made that they did it to punish, I mean, that was the previous appointment.
Yes.
They did it to punish Ilaje community. Can you expound on that? Who was trying to punish Ilaje community? Why were they punishing the Ilaje community? What was the offense of the Ilaje community? Yes. And then now that they've now brought someone, what is your agitation? So you don't think the position given to him is sufficient? You want the MD's position?
Yes, I want to talk about that. Look, since 2009, during the time of Yaradua, the Ilajes had been agitating that it's high time someone, an indigene of Ilaje land, becomes an executive of NDDC based on the law setting up the NDDC Act. But that never happened. Now, 2013, there was agitation for an Ilaje man to become the MD. It never happened. The government, subsequent government, followed it up that these Ilaje people are asking for, though it's their right, but they are always asking for it. Okay, we'll take it to Ondo State. We won't give you guys, against the law. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying now, you.
Okay, so that's the punishing.
That's where the punishment comes in. Okay. Because ordinarily, you expect an Ilaje man to have been chosen rather than someone from Owo. With due respect, Owo have so many friends there. I even have relations there. But it's not for them. So that's where the punishment comes in. That's where the marginalization comes in.
All right, so now with the recent appointment,
yes.
So what are you agitating for now? You are saying it should be given the MD position.
The recent one is not fair as well. Bayelsa State had produced the MD. Essentially, when the first 4 produced, then the 5th, 6th, 7th should also produce. That is what the law said. Do you have the law? Dr. Abati, do you have the law?
I don't have it on the table here. Yes,
yeah, but there is a document from the 3
it.
senators that I brought here. You can see it. It was cited. So if you talk about rotation, repetition cannot be rotation. All right. Timi Alaibe was MD from Bayelsa State.
Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you very much for establishing your point, and I'm sure
maybe before you go,
all right,
what steps have you taken apart from just this protestation, public protestation?
Yes.
Have you drawn the attention of the president to it? Have you gone again to the Senate of the national? What steps have you taken?
Okay. Last year, the 3 senators representing Ondo State wrote the Senate president. Nothing was done. This year, we took up advertorials, open letter to Mr. President in 2 or 3 leading national dailies, writing Mr. President. Personally, we wrote Mr. President. As we talk, there are about 3 cases in court. But there is this same attitude of there is nothing they will do. I know Ilaje people are peaceful people, but you can't push them too far. We took it up to make sure those youth are not on the street. And they say, okay, you two try whether they will listen to you. And if we continue at this rate, anything might happen. That's what we want to avoid.
This big fight over the same NDDC that people say is not serving its true purpose.
It will not. You know why it's not serving its true purpose? Let me address that. If you want to do anything, you follow the law. If you are not following the law, why not organize recruitment? They should be recruited. Let them go for an interview with Otandasi or one of these big recruitment firms. You just bring somebody, you put him there. That person will not serve the purpose. He will only serve the purpose of the Godmaster who appointed him. I'm sure you understand that. Why is Akwa Ibom made executive director project after 2 other slots? This is the 3rd time. Some have not had 1 shot. If you look at it, it's beyond that.
Well, I'm sure that the relevant stakeholders are listening and perhaps they will take your case further. Thank you very much, Mr. Akinola Gbonegun.
Thank you.